Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm a psychologist specialized in emotional and binge eating, and today I want to discuss the main reasons why you feel extremely full after eating. Number one, if you're postponing your meals by trying to do maybe intermittent fasting, or you're just banking your calories for the evening, you might be surprised that when you start eating, you cannot stop. One, well, obviously you were too hungry. Two, you are not paying attention to your satiety cues at that point. You just want to eat as much food as possible. But also three, psychologically, you know you have the right almost to eat a lot of foods because, well, you haven't eaten your breakfast and your lunch. So it's very difficult for you to stop. And then once you do stop, you say, oh my God, I'm so full. My advice, if you see that this is happening all the time, don't bank your calories, but try to eat more regularly throughout the day. Number two, you might be eating for emotional reasons. So in that case, there is no amount of food that will satisfy, the craving or the emotional void. You might be eating while distracted. This is so common in the evening in front of the TV, almost like a habit. And in that case, you might be overeating way more because you're paying attention to what's happening on the TV rather than your satiety cues and how much you have eaten. And in that sense, it also means number four, that you don't have very clear satiety cues because you are distracted. So you start eating, let's say, when you're physically hungry, hopefully, unless it's an emotional hunger. But then because you're distracted, you're not able to pay attention to the signals your body is telling you that okay, now is the time for you to stop eating. Number five, you are trying constantly to eat clean. And then maybe you finish your meal and then you are not satisfied. You're satiated, but you're not satisfied. And then you catch yourself going to the pantry, to the fridge, searching for more food that will give you that satisfaction hit that you need. Number six, and this is so common, you're eating the foods to please other people. And then what usually happens is you're eating things that normally you don't really like or enjoy, but you're eating because someone made it, or, someone brought it to your house and you want to be nice and then you take food, but that's not your favorite food. So you eat those foods and then you start eating the foods that you like. And by the end of it, you are stuffed with food, but half of it was actually not necessary because it's not the food that you actually enjoy eating. When you think about fullness, the reason why people feel full, these are some of those that I've just said. But the main thing is that if you want to stop when you are comfortably full, not over full, not discomfort in your belly, not unbearable feeling like how much I have eaten, you have to start eating when you're physically hungry. Put on a plate different types of foods that you actually enjoy, not what you should be eating. Without distraction, try to assess and tell yourself, food is not going anywhere. I can eat this whenever I want. I can store it. I don't have to eat everything from my plate. And then ask yourself, when you start feeling comfortably full, if I stop now, will I be satisfied and satiated? If the answer is yes, if you're honest with yourself and the answer is yes, and that everything else would be extra food that you actually don't need, that's the moment you can stop. And then you will not have that sensation that you are uncomfortably full, but that you are full just with the amount of food that you actually need for that meal. Then the next meal, after several hours, again, physical hunger will reappear, and then you can have and finish those same foods, or you can take something else. It doesn't really matter. But when you are in that cycle, eating when hungry and stopping when full, you don't have any guilt for eating. You don't have any shame. You know you're eating for the right reasons and that you have stopped when you were actually full instead of going overboard and feeling bad for how much you have eaten.